I know, chasing that dough, hitting that road, getting that money, man. All I know, loading that foe, kicking down doors, getting that money, man. We gon' make it money. We gon' take it grizzly. We gon' make it money. We gon' take it grizzly.
You are now tuned into the Boxing Bros. I'm Showtime, as you can see. I'm Showtime Caden, and I'm here with my bros.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Commissioner, Trill Dollar Bill. What's up?
And this is G.
And it's the Showtime TBE. What up, world?
TBE member, media member, TBE. We're going to get into that a little bit later.
Hey, man,
but the first topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is our reaction to Terence Crawford stopping Showtime Shawn Porter in the 10th round. And I'm going to turn this over to a man who finally got a prediction right, Conspiracy G.
Hey, man, you see, I even like how you started that off, man. I thought we were going to be positive today.
That was positive.
You know what I'm saying?
I was shouting you out.
Nah, man. Yes,
right, well, let me do it over. I'm going to turn it over to a man who got the prediction right.
Blessings.
Conspiracy G.
That's what I'm talking about. But, man,
we're not going to edit that out, though. It's going to stay.
Great fight by both gentlemen. You know, it's funny because, you know, every round where we was like shooting out attacks to each other, like who won that round, me and Kaden were like polar opposites essentially, you know. And so I thought a lot of rounds were like really swing rounds. It was like really, really close. Porter is a difficult guy for any gentleman in the welterweight division. And the style is just like, it's really, really tough. So luckily for us, we get to watch it on television so we can see what lands, what doesn't land. But if you're a judge and you're sitting at one particular angle in the ring, you could make an argument that Porter probably won every round until the 10th, or you could be like, nah, I can see what TC's doing and stuff like that. So it was actually pretty good. I gave TC the 2nd round, the 4th round, the 6th. Then I gave him the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th, and obviously that's when it ended, you know. But like the 2nd round was like really, really. Matter of fact, essentially for the most part, most of the rounds were like really, really close. But like the rounds that I gave Porter, it was like clear, like yo, Porter won that round, you know. But nonetheless, man, great job. I felt like Porter could have kept going. You know, you could see Porter's frustration. So I felt like he had that mindset like a champion. Like, yo, I'm not willing to go out like that. I know, but I'm just saying the reaction.
I'm just reminding you, just in case you're gonna go
into there too deep.
Just in case you're gonna go in too deep.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I felt like the fight could have went. I think they could have made it to the 12th. You know, I did predict it's gonna be by TC by decision. But hey, man, I'll take the TKO. But nonetheless, both gentlemen did an excellent job. Great fight. You know, I was entertained, man, and supportive, man. Keep, you know, hopefully you keep going. But I understand if you're done.
And we're gonna turn it over to Trill Dollar Bill on cuz.
Shout out to Jackie Robinson. Okay. I wasn't able to go to the gym with my bros because if y'all follow us on social media, which you should, you know, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Follow me at Ray Trilogy at Instagram. You can follow Caden at Caden the Geek. You can follow Ned at Ned Spielberg. G's Instagram at Chef G coming soon. But you know, on Twitter. G, let them know your Twitter.
Oh, Twitter. It's Boxing Bros
USA.
Yeah.
Yes. So if y'all follow, you would know why I wasn't at the gym with our bros. But I got a chance to watch some old film. And while I was doing that, I seen something. And I texted the group right before the fight started. And I said that Shawn needs to watch out for the uppercut. Right? Great, exciting fight. I thought Shawn was winning the fight up to the stoppage. I feel like I'm going to follow the bouncing ball here. I feel like it was an exciting fight. It was a real competitive and exciting fight. I thought it was dope. Both guys, hey, listen, both guys, put it out there. Shawn is a warrior. Shawn is a dog. He should get all the praises and all the respect. But yeah, my reaction to the fight was it was a good fight, shocking ending, and we'll get into that as the show goes on. But I'm like, wow, shocking ending. I thought it would go all 12 rounds, but it was stopped. But wow, it was a great fight.
Showtime TBE.
You heard? Let me tell you this. Porter had that man, but I felt Porter's style was dangerous to himself. And the whole night I just I saw TC timing Porter's lunges. I'm like, hook, an uppercut, a shot to the body. Every time Porter would lunge, he would sometimes he would catch him. Porter caught him off guard, was like he'll lunge and he'll hit TC, he'll catch TC off guard. But TC caught on, it was like catch him on the hook, uppercut, shot to the body. Even pushing, he was sometimes he was. It looked like it was toying with toying with Porter a little bit. And for me, I was just like, this is a little dangerous. Porter needs to get himself together. Like, you can't just keep coming in thinking you could be a bully. And TC was the real bully last night, and he knew what it was. But for most of the rounds, I had Porter winning. I didn't expect the fight to end like this. When Porter got dropped twice, I was like, all right, Porter still got it could end in a draw. It could end in a draw. That's what I was thinking. It could end in a draw. And then the fight got called off. Like, come on, son. Like this is not it. Oh my goodness. I feel like I was robbed. I was robbed. And all I gotta blame is Kenny Porter right now. That's it. But I was robbed.
I feel you. That's why I agree with you, Ned. We blame Kenny.
Yeah.
You good, Ned?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So the fight to me was an interesting fight, and I'll break it down in greater detail. But when you look at the predictions and the build-up leading to the fight, 7-1 odds in favor of Terence Crawford, which I felt and knew was too wide. 20 ringside experts picked Terence Crawford to beat Shawn Porter. And although he beat Shawn Porter, let's be realistic, it's not the prediction that you all said. When you go back and you look at what people said, it was, he's going to wash Porter. Porter's not even in his class. He's going to dog Porter. But that's not what happened. This fight to me followed a pattern that we've seen with Terence Crawford. And if I took anything away from it, it's Terence Crawford has more power than people think, because TC was getting outboxed by Gamboa. Again, you can look it up. Then he stopped him. He was losing to Kell Brook too. Then he stopped him. And it was a close fight between him and Kavaliauskas, and then he stopped him. But I don't see TC blowing everyone out like the way everyone tries to make it seem. And that's all I was pointing out. And for me, what I believe was Shawn Porter's pressure and what he was doing was going to get him the points decision, or maybe even a late round stoppage over Terence Crawford, which it was playing out that way. I had Shawn Porter up at the time of the stoppage, but I get it. People are going to act like I can't be objective. So let's just take Andre Ward, a man who's paid by ESPN, the last really undisputed pound for pound number one guy when he retired. Andre Ward had Shawn Porter winning the fight as well. And when you talk about the ESPN commentary, you have to keep in mind that Terence Crawford is an ESPN fighter. They're trying to keep Terence Crawford, everything he does. There was one point where Shawn Porter was outlanding TC. Oh, yeah, the great TC was outlanded by that wild brawler guy, Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter was outlanding him midway through the fight. So what did they do? They shift the conversation to body punches. Oh, he's outlanding him with the body punches, which was a smart thing by Terence Crawford because in the end, he dropped Shawn Porter with a body punch. Now, this is where I disagree with I'm trying to save him or whatever. We'll get into that a little bit later. But he dropped him with a body punch. And so then Porter went down. Porter got back up. For me, the fight played along the way I thought, except I didn't think that Terence Crawford would be able to stop Shawn Porter. So TC deserves a lot of credit for that. But I will say this when it comes to TC. For me, up until that stoppage, he looked like Earl Spence against Shawn Porter. Earl Spence needed something big because he was down to Shawn Porter as well. He dropped Shawn. Shawn got up. And we're going to compare their fights in a little bit later. So he was in a similar position. The difference is Kenny Porter threw in the towel in the fight with TC. And he didn't with Earl Spence. But they were in very similar positions. And so he was able to stop him. But up until that point, TC didn't do anything to separate himself. He didn't make it look easy. He wasn't making Shawn Porter miss. He wasn't handling Shawn Porter's aggression easily. Like everyone said, oh, he's too this, he's too crafty. No, he was getting cracked. He was getting touched up by Shawn Porter. I had Shawn Porter ahead at the time of the stoppage. So did Andre Ward. And like I said, most, you can score however you want. There were some swing rounds in there. But for me, what I saw, I had Shawn Porter winning. So I came in here. I was going to come in here, Showtime Porter. And I'm still in Showtime Porter. And we're going to dive into that a little bit later. Where I will give TC praise is this. TC needed an elite welterweight to show what he's made of. And this is why we've been talking about we wanted to see him in there with better competition. Porter pushed TC to a point where when he went to his corner, Bomac was telling him, his corner was telling him he was down. And even Andre Ward had him down. And if you look at it, play the video. When he goes into his corner at the end of the 9th round, they tell TC, you're down. You're down. You're losing. He goes out there and he stops Shawn Porter. That's what we needed to see from TC. That's why people were saying we want to see him in there against the elite guys. We want to see someone push him to a limit where he's forced to show something. Now I have a question answered from TC. I know what TC does in the face of adversity. When he's in a fight where he may be losing, when he's in a fight where the outcome's in doubt, where he's in a fight where it's like, yo, I might realistically lose. And he came out guns blazing. That's a check for TC. But that's why you need to see the elite guys fight the elite guys. Because Porter made Terence have to dig deep. Like he made everyone else have to dig deep. So I give TC a lot of props for that. But we're going to get into it in the rest of the time. TC beat Shawn Porter. Salute to all the TC fans. But remember what you said about Shawn Porter. You said he's not elite. You said he's not great. You said all those things. Your man got the victory over him. Salute.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe and check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We're just getting started. You know who we are. We are the Mighty Boxing Bros.
You're welcome.